Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good morning, my dear students. This video lecture is on English first paper, UNIT-1, LESSON-3. The caption of the lesson is Two Women. These two women are, one of them is Valentina Tereskova and another is Kalpana Chawla. Today's video lecture is on Valentina Tereskova. The students, today's lecture will be on text basis. You are advised to take the text and be with me. Hello my dear students, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. I hope you are well by the grace of the Almighty. Dear students, today's video lecture is on English first paper, Unit 1, Lesson 3. And this lesson is on text basis. You are advised to take the test at the time of being with me. The name of the unit is People or Institution Making History, and the lesson's caption is Two Women. Here, two women are not ordinary women. They are two charismatic or extraordinary women who are astronauts. From these two women, today's lesson is on Valentina Tereskova. Valentina Tereskova was born on 6 March 1937. Please, I am again drawing your attention to get the textbook, because if you be with the text, you will get a lot of information about Valentina Tereskova, and after then when in the next class Kalpana Chawla, you will get many information who were Valentina Tereskova and Kalpana Chawla. What were their position, from what type of family they came off, how they established their position, not only position, their dignified position. These are the figures of Valentina Tereskova. Valentina Tereskova is reading a book. Let me be with you with the text. Valentina Tereskova was born in the village Meslenikovo, Tataevsky district in central Russia. Terescuba's father was a tractor driver and her mother worked in a textile plant. Terescuba began school in 1945 at the age of 8, but left school in 1953 and continued her education through distance learning. From this para, you could realize actually from what type of family she came from. Her father was a tractor driver. Tractor driver is not such dignified person or very wealthy person. Even her mother worked in a textile plant. She was not also in a very good position, especially in financial accommodation. In this very dilapidated situation, in 1945, the year of ending of World War II, Terescuba began school. The students, when human beings cannot survive with their primary needs, at that time they never think of education. Among all the primary needs, people at first think about food, clothes, accommodation, these things. And many people become deprived of education because of poverty. But this, in this situation of poverty, Valentina Terescuba began school, but left school. Very pathetic situation. Because of financial drawbacks, she couldn't continue school. She left school in 1953 and continued her education. But though she left school, formal educational institution, but she didn't left learning. And for this, she continued her education through distance learning. In Bangladesh, Open University conduct distance learning. Not only bookish knowledge, she became interested in parachuting from a young age. Some of you might have idea about parachuting. These are the training and practices of cosmonauts. It's the sport of jumping with a parachute. It's one type of sport which involves with jumping with a parachute. In Bengali, অবতরণ সত্র দ্বারা খেলা করা. She became interested in parachuting from a young age. Dear student, if you want to do anything positive from an early age, you have to grow enthusiasm within yourself. You have to fix your aim and dream. After then, if you continue with integrity, one day you will be in a successful position. Because always think that success requires ability, integrity and hard work. And trained in skydiving at the local aero club. He was getting training in skydiving the local aeronautical club, making her first jump at age 22. And on 21st May 1959, it was the date. At the time, she was employed as a textile worker in a local factory. The students, the learner, were very enthusiastic in learning games and playing. That learner couldn't but became engaged in textile plant. It was her expertise in skydiving that led to her selection as a cosmonaut. As she was very interested in skydiving, that is inwardly and outwardly, in both ways, she was always in mind that one day I want to be an astronaut, and for this reason she could become a cosmonaut. After the flight of Yuri Gagarin, the first human being to travel to outer space in 1961, the Soviet Union decided to send a woman in space. On 16 February 1962, proletariat means very poor, especially financially, whose condition was not well off. Normal survival is hard to people. That position is proletariat. In this situation, Valentina Tereskova continued her education and continued her aim to be successful as an astronaut or cosmonaut. Dear students, you know, Soviet Union is a very big country, a large country, where there are a number of intellectual people to be astronaut. But because of honest selection, pure selection, Valentina Tereskova could be astronaut. On 16 February 1962, proletariat Valentina Tereskova was selected for this project from among more than 400 applicants. Among 400 applicants. In this sentence or point, you should think that Valentina Tereskova was not provided with huge number of tools or facilities by which she could be a skilled astronaut. Among a large number of drawbacks, being in huge number of drawbacks, she could be successful only because of positive willingness, hard trying, integrity. Tereskova had to undergo a series of training. My dear students, I think you are getting all the points because the passage is written in very simple language. The words are not two alien words. They are very common words. And in this point, I would like to advise you, my dear students, one thing remember, language is nothing but knowledge of words and sense of grammar. Knowledge of words and sense of grammar. I am repeating for the third time. Language implies knowledge of words and sense of grammar. So, dear students, always be engaged in learning new words every day. And with the words, you will just apply grammatical rules to make complete sentences. Then one day you will be able to make complete sentences in both speaking and writing. One thing remember, rules of grammar are fixed, but knowledge of words are not limited. They are unlimited. As it is a foreign language, you have to think that I'll continue my learning new words, not only English, in any foreign language, all through my life. Terescuba had to undergo a series of training that included weightless flights. Isolation test. Weightless means the state of being weightless in the space. In Bengali, it is মহাকাশে ওজনহীনতার অবস্থা. Isolation tests. It's the state of being separate from the people, places or things. In Bengali, অন্য লোকদের স্থানসমূহ অথবা দ্রব্যাদি থেকে পৃথক বা বিচ্ছিন্ন হওয়ার অবস্থা. অন্তরণ. Centrifuge tests. It's a machine which turns a container round very quickly, causing the solids and liquids inside it to separate. In Bengali, centrifuging means তরল পদার্থে বস্তু কণিকাকে ঘূর্ণন গতির দ্বারা পরস্পর থেকে পৃথক করার কাজে ব্যবহৃত যন্ত্র. Rocket theory. Spacecraft engineering. 120 parachute jumps and pilot training in MiG-15 UTI jet fighters. So you got the situation or condition. If anyone wants to be a cosmonaut or an astronaut, what is the position? If you compare your intermediate theoretical study, is it more or less? Extremely more. Hard laboring, extremely intellectual possessing person can achieve such type of training and position. The students, since the successful launch of the spacecraft Vostok 5 on 14 June 1963, Vostok 5, name of a spacecraft, Terescuba began preparing for her own flight. On the morning of 16 June 1963, Terescuba and her backup cosmonaut Solovyova were dressed in spacesuits and taken to the space shuttle launch pad by a bus. From where? Here pad means station, launching station, starting station, from where their space shuttle or spacecraft will be take off, or they will start their journey into the space. Shuttle means such type of transport, only touch to station. After completing her communication and life support checks, she was sealed inside Vostok 6, finishing a 2-hour countdown. Vostok 6 launched faultlessly. Countdown means in Bengali ultu ganona, a count backward in fixed units to the time of some event. Although Terescuba experienced nausea in Bengali, its meaning is bomi, bab, feeling of physical unwellness, usually with the desire to vomit, and physical discomfort for much of the flight. She orbited the Earth 48 times and spent almost 3 days in space. With a single flight, she logged more flight time than the combined times of all American astronauts who had flown before that date. Very important point here. She orbited. She surrounded the Earth for 48 times. Orbit means in Bengali Kokkhopat, a circle or elliptical path of one object around another object, and spent almost 3 days in space. Could you imagine? Is it possible on your part? I think it's possible, and I wish and pray for you. You will do something more than that of Valentina Tereskova. May Allah bless us all. With a single flight, she logged more flight time than the combined times of all American astronauts who had flown before that date. Before Valentina Tereskova, the total time of all the American astronauts of space traveling is less than that of Valentina Tereskova. Tereskova also maintained a flight log and took photographs of horizon, which were later used to identify aerosol layers within the atmosphere. There are flights in Bengali, Akashpothe Gaman, a journey in an aircraft. Log in Bengali, Jekono দৈনন্দিন কার্যাবলীর হিসাব রাখা. In English, to officially record something. which were later used to identify aerosol layers within the atmosphere. In Bengali, aerosol means gaseous তরল, gaseous substance. It's a metal container that forces a liquid out in small drops when you press a button. एक धातुव पात्र যা তরলকে রঞ্জক দ্রব্যকে বিন্দু বিন্দু আকারে বের করে আনে বোতাম চাপার মাধ্যমে। Vostok 6 was the final Vostok flight and was launched 2 days after Vostok 5. That is, 2 spacecrafts were sent to the space. One is Vostok 5, another is Vostok 6. In Vostok 5, the cosmonaut was Valery Vygotsky into a similar orbit for 5 days, landing 3 hours after Tereskova. The 2 bezels means these 2 spacecrafts approached each other within 5 kilometers at one point, and from space Tereskova communicated with Vygotsky, this very person, and the Soviet leader Khrushchev by radio. Imagine the situation. How enthusiastic Tereskova was. How brilliant Tereskova was. Much later in 1977, Tereskova earned a doctorate in engineering from Zhukovsky Air Force Academy. Dear students, I think some of you might have the idea about doctorate degree. In our country, formal education system is from class 1, 2. In our country, formal education started from class 1. Then public examination, JSC, SSC, HSC. After HSC, you will get yourself admitted into different university education. Some of will be in medical education, some of will be in engineering education, some of will be in general education, in different branches of knowledge. And over there, you will complete 4-year graduation. After 4 years graduation, you will do another degree. It is post-graduation. After post-graduation, some of you will get doctorate degree. Yet doctorate doesn't imply that physician. It's highly intellectual degree on any subject. As you are the students of Kumila Victoria Government College, you will find that some of your teachers' name is with Doctor For example, our Honorable Vice Principal, Dr. Abu Jafar Khan. There are a number of teachers in our college who did their doctorate degree, a very distinguished degree, highly qualified degree, and you will understand actually what is the position of a person when an educated person achieve a doctorate degree. Doctorate degree formally, or its another simplified version, is PhD, that is Doctor of Philosophy. Okay. Such type of degree, in which time, 1977, the position of the world economy was not so rich. Right now it is. At that time, earlier we know from which family came from. But one thing you should remember, if you want to wish and always be with this dream that one day I want to be such and such, it's possible. Okay, much later in 1977, Tereskova earned a doctorate in engineering from Zhukovsky Air Force Academy. Afterwards, she turned to politics. Very significant turning point of her life. Actually, the nation which is civilized, such type of persons enter into politics. Up to this, the information or facts and figures you got about Valentina Tereskova. Valentina Tereskova is a very qualified personality. If such type of personality be involved in politics, the nation is very lucky. Afterwards, she turned to politics during the Soviet regime. Regime in Bengali, it's Shashan Vyavastha, a particular government or a system or method of government. She became one of the presidium members of the Supreme Soviet. Dear students, you couldn't imagine. Please try to at your leisure time from Google, you will search what is the geographical area of Soviet Union and what is population size. After then you will imagine what type of or in which position Valentina Tereskova could reach. Now this living legend in Bengali, King Badanti, someone very famous and admired, usually because of their ability in a particular area. Now this living legend is a member in the lower house of the Russian legislatures. লেজিসলেচার ইন বেঙ্গলি আইনসভা বা আইন প্রণয়নকারী সংস্থা। In English, a government body with the power to make, amend and repeal laws for the well-being of the country. Now this living legend is a member in the lower house of the Russian legislatures on her 70th birthday, when she was invited by the Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin. She expressed her desire to fly to Mars, even if for a one-way trip. Though pathetic but very enthusiastic, even if for a one-way trip. That is, she desired her willingness. If her spacecraft couldn't return to the Earth, no problem. She is interested to go to Mars, to fly to Mars, to visit Mars. Why? To search something which will bring betterment for the well-being of the common people of the country, of the nation, even people all over the world. The student here ends my lecture. At the very beginning, you found the photograph of Valentina Tereshkova. She was very young, energetic, enthusiastic, but at the end of her life, the position is she is very old. No problem. Though old, she is very respectable personality. She is very inspiring personality, from where you can get inspiration to be equal to such personality or more than her. My dear students, please go through your text again and again. Never skip any word without knowing the meaning of the word. If there is any problem anywhere, write in the comment box, or when we will be in the face-to-face class, please, you are advised to draw my attention. Sir, there is something to be clarified, and I shall try my level best to make you understand. Be sincere in your study. From this lesson, today I have gone through the text on Valentina Tereshkova. Another text is on Kalpana Chawla. After the text, I shall try to introduce you with the options, especially the testing options which will appear in the formal exam in your HSC level education. Dear students, with this I would like to end my